Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. And keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, folks, here we are on Monday, February 26th. We're going to take a look at ACHR today. So ACHR Aviation, I'm not familiar with them. We haven't looked at them before, to the best of my recollection, but somebody asked me to come in and take a look with earnings coming up to see where things might go. Again, if it booms, busts, or of course if it goes sideways, which as a reminder is always a possibility. I'm just seeing another level here that I want to put in. Let me inch this down a little bit. Okay, so here are the levels. Now there's quite a few just because it passed through these price points previously, and so there's just a decent amount of price action to go off of. So I try to pull in sort of a mix of a decent amount of levels, but without cluttering the chart too much. So I think this is still pretty visible. But the nearest in level, at least where we are right now, who knows where exactly we finish the day off, but to the upside, 494, so that approach to $5, and then basically 524. So sort of that question of like, is it going to hold into the fives, and then 559, so holding just over 550, and then there's a bunch of price action in here, but it's pretty choppy and has tended to move pretty quickly in both directions as it chops in between these levels. So there's a huge sort of substantive price gap here, in my opinion, all the way up to that approach to $7, so about $6.98, $6.99. So, undoubtedly there's going to be some levels that evolve in between, say 559 and 698. But, if it starts to put in more price action in there and folks are interested, I'd be happy to come in and take a look. This like 587 or so also looks like it could be something, but I would want to see some more price action before feeling confident. So these are the ones that I felt sort of stood out as the dominant levels to the upside. Now to the downside, if it does get pushed down, 446, 410, 368, and then 337. I didn't plot below that, but the next level down would be, to my eye, something around here, around 277, 278. That does, of course, skip the psychological $3 level. So, any of those psychological levels on the dollar, on the 50 cents sometimes, they may, of course, always come in to play a factor. So those are the levels that I would be watching. On the Think or Swim study, it does go through quite a few triggers and fires. So we had a trigger and fire back here. That set off a pretty nice wave actually, and pushed it up out of the channel, came back in, triggered again as it was pinned to the mid-range of the channel, and then that fire set it off, lost all of the gains that it had from this period, so just set it back to where it was basically, and then it triggered and fired again, and it just put in this little sort of hump, if you will, this little arch upward. So is that going to result in some additional heavy motion? Maybe we're about 4 or 5 candles into the firing on the trigger and fire now on the TTM squeeze indicator, so we'll see if that amounts to anything and if it can get any motion out of the channel again, either to the upside or the downside. Other than that, ever since this push here, it's had a really hard time holding anything to the mid-range. It had a little few day push here, but lost it pretty quickly. And so I'd be interested to see, if it does get some motion to the upside, can it really stretch toward the upper bound? Because it's been a while, back here since it's been able to do that. It's been having a much easier time hugging the lower bound of the channel. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if you zoom out on this one here, or scroll left, I guess, it does have a little bit of a rocky history, but what stock doesn't at this point? But sort of stretching from some highs well into the 7s here, and then lows in the 1s and 2s down here. So some pretty big swings percentage wise. So we'll see what this earnings brings, and kind of go from there. All right, folks, I hope that your trading week is off to a good start, and as always, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.